Hey gang, it's Bob Bannister from CGCM Rock Radio, bringing you another edition of Rock Talk in conjunction with our friends at Rock Is Not Dead Australia. And before we get into this great edition, why don't you do us a favor and click that button down in the bottom there? Give us a like, give us a share, give us a comment. Let us know maybe there's somebody you'd like us to talk to as well. So this time around on Rock Talk, we kind of got a Brady Bunch thing going on here. We got a whole bunch of people going to be around me on the video, and we're talking to a band called Stormflower. It's a four-piece band out of Sydney, I believe it was, and these guys are just very, very new on the scene. They've got an EP out right now. Very interesting music. Definitely go and check it out. They've only played a few gigs. Watch for these guys. I think they're going to be making some noise on the scene in the very near future. So let's step inside the Rock Talk studio and sit down and have a chat with my new friends from Stormflower on this edition of Rock Talk with CGCM Rock Radio and Rock Is Not Dead Australia. All right, and here we go. It is another edition of Rock Talk, and joining us this time around from Sydney, we've got Ivan, Owen, Rob, and Julian from the band Stormflower. You guys just released your debut EP, Equanimity. Did I say that correctly? English is not my greatest.
Yeah, it's a fancy word, isn't
It is. It is. It gets more than two syllables, and I have to stop and think.
Yeah, now
it? Yeah.
bang on. That's exactly what it's called.
All right. So why don't you tell us the backstory of Stormflower?
Yeah,
Well,
well,
we
it's
start.
been a bit of a stop-start type of affair. So we kind of recently got together, but kicking around for a few years now, and we had a little bit of an introduction. So Rob, Ivan, and myself been together for a little while now. We got a bit of an introduction to Julian some years ago, but then we diverted ways for other projects, and then kind of fortuitously came back together. Probably 1.5 to 2 years ago now, and so we were able to start. Get our heads down and collaborating on some of the ideas that we've been scratching around with, back then, and new stuff as well. So yeah, it's been, throughout that period, obviously the world went through that big pandemic and extra, which kind of slowed everyone down for a while and threw a few hurdles and that along the way. So it's been challenging, as it has been for everyone and all bands in the music scene as well, to kind of keep things hanging together through that period. So we kind of just hang tough through there, and then come out the other side and really been able to collaborate. Start exploring our music and writing stuff and getting it recorded and now putting it out there.
And that's the story I'm hearing from a lot of bands, not just in Australia. I'm hearing it from my Canadian friends and whatnot, that the pandemic really was a curse and a blessing for music, because you were able to just, buckle down and do, right. Is that the case then with you guys, Ivan?
Yeah, no, it's well, it was actually an inspiration as well. I mean, being locked down, it's actually went and bought a new guitar and just to play around in the house and write some riff and stuff. And we were able to share. The good thing about today, with the technologies, we can share stuff, around. We record at home and we share around. So So we were still able to collaborate and play music, which was keeping us healthy in a way during that time as well. So that was pretty good. So it was both inspirational in some ways. Although it was a bad situation, we tried to make some, take some good out of it and get inspired and write some new music.
So, Rob, what would you say the creative process of the band is like? Like, is it you might bring something to the table, and everybody else kind of throws their ideas in, or you guys sit around collectively and write together?
I'd say the creative process is quite painful. It takes us like 6 months to actually finish a song, but I think we're all kind of perfectionists in that sense. So we spend a lot of time trying to make songs as best as they can be, and making sure that we're all fully happy with songs before we do anything. But yeah, I suppose usually one of us will come up with something, and like Ivan was saying, we share it around and try and get everyone into that sort of groove and everyone's nod of approval, and then when we get together, kind of, once a week, once a fortnight, whatever it might be, we then work on it, jam on it, create it, and pull it all together ourselves, right? So every song really is inputs from all four of us, not just an individual or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. And
I think I'll just add to that as well. I was just going to add to that as well. It's that's one of the good things. It's not a set formula, because it might be Rob coming with a new kind of lyrical piece that he starts to play around with its music. It might be Ivan who's come up with some bass line, and we start to just work with the bass line out of and start to construct a song around that. Yeah, it might be Julian like humming an idea as well. So yeah, we don't really follow a set formula either, which is kind of the quite liberating as well from that perspective.
so how important is it then
Yeah, and
not
we don't
to?
mind.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sorry. So yeah, and we don't mind, like, even from an instrument perspective or genre perspective, what we pull into the songs either, right? So whether we're kind of all sort of hard rock backgrounds, but if I've got links to classical music and piano, and Ivan's got links to jazz music as well. So, we pull it all together and try and work out what makes the song feel right, and what really conveys the message of each song.
So how important then is it? So say Julian, you get an idea and it doesn't really gel right off the top, but maybe 2 weeks or even a month down the road, maybe Rob says, "Hey, remember that bit that you did? How important is it not to throw anything out?" That's, I guess, what I'm trying to ask.
Yeah. Actually, like Owen said, I joined the band very late. So these three have known each other for a long time. And I was busy at the time 4 years ago with another project with my brother. But 2 years ago, I joined the band. They had songs ready to go. And I had to put my own imprint on the drumming, but they've done most of the writing. And I've just done a bit of drumming on top of that.
All right.
Julia is a bit modest here. He did have a lot of input. So he bring a very unique perspective to the song. Some of the stuff we came up actually when we were recording, and he started humming stuff, and they said, "Oh, that's really cool." So and that was different background, but somehow we managed to all put our little input in there. In terms of material, we have probably too much material sometime where we get a bit crazy in terms of this would work, and then we rewrite stuff, and sometimes we feel like we go in circle. So we do it does get frustrating sometimes. But by the end of the day, we all want something that we can be very happy with, all of us. And that's really the aim of it. So we don't want to play anything that one of us is not comfortable. So we reuse material that we say, "Oh yeah, 2 years ago we came up with that. Let's try that. No, it doesn't work. Let's try something else." Yeah, some song can take 2 years, 3 years to write, and it can get frustrating. But look, I think it's a good problem to have. By the end of the day, once we finish a song and we're happy with it, we just have this feeling of we've achieved something that we can be proud of. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Very cool. And what's it like to how would you describe your live show?
Well,
I think
we really only recently started promoting. We only play one show really just to debut the EP. So in the new year, we're looking to play around in Sydney and also in a bit regional as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to pull this together. But we've played together live, the three of us, Rob, Owen, and I.
Oh, I think we just lost Ivan
Yeah.
again.
I think live we're pretty raw. Bob, I guess the combination of the drumming and heavy, we've got two guitars on stage
Right.
and very loud bass. So we've only four, but I think we're pretty loud. I mean, some of my influences is Rob Earth from Midnight Oil or some of the drummers from the US, Helmet, Fugazi, Tool. So we're
Hmm.
pretty loud on stage,
Right.
pretty heavy.
Yeah, we've got a big, full, energetic sound, right? So, um, yeah, we're live act. We've still got to work through a little bit more. Like we're learning things on the way. We've played with some other bands now that have really got their act sort of nailed down, and we're kind of got to work out what that is. For us at the moment, it's more about the sound and the music, and trying to get that to connect with people when we're playing live to them. So we're looking forward to that journey and just trying to really make it as interesting as possible for anyone that comes to see us.
And as
And
we're
a
oh,
couple of challenges for us on that as well, Bob, is a couple of the tracks on the EP we actually have piano in them.
mhm.
But obviously on stage we don't have piano. It's just the four of us. Rob does a lot of it. He plays the piano, guitar, sings, everything. So we do have to adapt a little bit to make sure that those songs that have piano still deliver the same kind of emotion and feeling without the piano on stage as well. So we're still working on that and crafting that as well.
Well, Rob, then that just means you got to get yourself a keytar.
Yeah, that's what I feel like I've been told. An extra layer. If I can just
It's getting one
I
for
haven't quite worked
Christmas.
out what that,
Uh, Speaking of which, though, as we're wrapping up 2025 here, what does it look like heading into 2026 for Stormflower?
More gigs. We're going to be playing around, obviously promoting and sharing our music around in Sydney and hopefully interstate as well. Obviously, it will be a dream one day to come to Canada and play around over there. But we'll start, we'll start putting some shows in Sydney in the new year, January, February. We'll start. So last year was really about recording, writing the music and recording, and this year it's about going live and have fun. I mean next year.
And speaking of being live and whatnot, and I know you guys have only played one show together or several or a couple shows together. Have you guys had one of those moments on stage where, like, we call it a Yannick moment because one of our sponsors here on CGCM Rock Radio is Iron Maiden Trooper Beer. And we always laugh about Yannick, the third guitarist, falling on his face or dropping his guitar or falling off the stage. Have you guys had a Yannick moment? Maybe not together as Stormflower, but in other bands that you'd like to tell us about?
I think Rob was saying that the last gig that we play, the stage was a little bit cramped, and I think he was scared to move around because I think he nearly hit. I think you nearly hit Owen, or you nearly got hit in the face by the by the
yeah,
by the
it's been
guitar.
good on stage. Not like we said, normally pretty energetic. We like to move around and stuff and sort of jam with each other on stage. But I was literally stuck. Every time I tried to move around, I'd bump into the microphone, and so I'm trying to do this at the same time as trying to look at Owen and Ivan and go, oh, let's go, let's go, let's go, and I'm just like stuck in the same spot. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I think that's what we all need, like owl heads, so we can just stay static in one position and just turn our heads to look at each other all 360 degrees or something.
Or maybe we should take turn. Who can move now? Maybe we should practice that craft a bit, you know?
Work on your choreography. Make it a
Yeah.
choreographed thing. You know. All right, it's your turn. Go. All right. So, do you guys have that one song that maybe comes on the radio, or you know, you hear it on your Spotify or iTunes, and it comes on, you go, "Damn, I wish I wrote that." Let's go around the horn and talk about that. We'll start with Owen first.
Yeah, the first one that comes to me would be Anima. It just by Tour, it just connects with me on every level. I mean, just the opening riffs, the way it just kind of the passages, the way they move through and tells that story, and the story it's telling is just so symbolic and feels like it's right there, like it's a near future type of thing that could happen any day. And yet the song is, you know, getting close to 20 years old now, something like that. So it still feels relevant today, and still just feels like it just reaching out to grab it, and so powerful. So that's the one that just straight away hits me every time.
All right, Rob.
I think Everlong by Foo Fighters is kind of one of my personal favorites because I just love how raw Dave Grohl is with that song, and I just feel like you can understand the experience around the story of that song straight away. Like, love the riffs, I love the drop D, I love the simplicity of it. He always talks about how, you know, he thinks about a guitar like he's playing drums, and to me that just adds to the rawness of the whole song, right? But I feel so connected to that song when I hear it. So yeah, that's my favorite.
Julian.
Yeah, I think Tool and Foo Fighters definitely are part of my inspiration. There's an Australian band I like, Midnight Oil, Peter Garrett, which was very popular in the 80s in Canada, I think, with Beds Are Burning.
Yep.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say Helmet because I love Helmet. They're from the East Coast of the United States. They had some great albums in the 90s, and that certainly influenced my drumming. Very loud and um, quite surgical type drumming. I like Helmet. Yeah.
And finally, Ivan.
I'll probably be. It's a very tough one. I'll be greedy there. I've got two or three choice. The first one is, I'm a massive Cliff Burton fan. So Orion, you know, is the instrumental for me. Is I would never get bored listening to it. That's up right up there. Otherwise, there's also an Australian band called Carnival. They wrote a track called "We Are" on one of their earlier album. Um, Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, so always never get bored of listening to that. And there's also another Australian band called Cog. Anything from the earlier album, New Normal. I wish I read that. I'm a massive fan.
So I was going to ask if you guys had a favorite venue to play at, but that you guys haven't been together that long and played together live enough. So I'm going to skip that question.
Actually, we've got a story about a place we want to play. The last gig we played was next to a big concert place here in Sydney. And Junior somehow he was parking his car and I don't know, he got lost or whatever. He ended up on the stage of the bigger place. I don't know how he managed to get through security and stuff. He actually got on stage. So he came back to us and he said, guys, we have to play there one day. So it was called the Enmore Theatre. So maybe we should, yeah, that's on the plan one day to play there.
That's on the bucket list for sure then. All right. So, guys, before we wrap this up, I like to do this little thing called This or That. It's just nothing to do with music, just some rapid fire questions, top of the head answers. If you're ready, we'll just jump right on into that. All right. Are you guys morning person or night owl?
Night owl, for sure. Yes.
you prefer the book or the movie?
Movie.
Yeah,
Cat,
movie.
Yeah, I like my books. Yeah.
cat person or dog person?
Dog.
Oh.
Yeah.
Neither.
Burger or pizza?
Pizza.
Jeez. Pizza.
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 Well,
That's a tough
that's
one.
interesting, guys, because every time we have a rehearsal, we end up at that pub in Sydney where we have a burger, a chicken burger. Actually, I would say everyone's chicken burger here.
That's
Well,
true. True.
well, that's because that's the only thing we have at that time on the menu, burger. So yeah.
Beer or wine?
Jeez.
Oh, you have to go with
I
both.
got two hands. Can I have one in each?
There you go.
Yeah.
That's
You
that's
need
the
both,
best
man.
answer, and it's unanimous.
Yeah.
That's even cooler.
Yeah.
And finally, one more question here. Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
Absolutely.
Absolutely not.
Really not.
No.
Oh, 3-1. Okay. All right.
Those guys can have the burgers.
All right, Ivan, Owen, Rob, and Julian from Stormflower, thank you for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk. Take a moment and shamelessly self-promote the band.
Well, you're gonna
We ask
you-
from Australia. We love you all, and we want you to listen to us and come and see us as much as possible. Thanks for having us.
Awesome. And what's your socials? What's your website?
Stormflower.band is our website. We're on all the socials. Rob does a cracking job keeping that all up to date across Facebook, Insta, the whole lot. So you can check it out there for all the updates. Obviously, we're on all the streaming platforms as well. So whether it be YouTube, we've got heaps of views on and listens on YouTube. So there's people out there that are actually enjoying our music, which is fantastic. So hope the rest of you listening in go and check it out and enjoy that as well.
Awesome. And thank you again, guys, for joining us on this edition of Rock Talk. And I want to thank you for joining us as well. And we'll catch you again next time for another edition with CGCM Rock Radio.